Welcome to the Living the Dream podcast with Curveball. If you believe, you can achieve. Welcome to the Living the Dream with Curveball podcast, a show where I interview guests that teach, motivate, and inspire. Today, we're going to be talking about Pilates as I am joined by Chief Pilates Officer Lesley Logan of onlinepilatesclasses.com. She's going to be talking to us today about how Pilates are beneficial and how they can change your life. So we're going to be talking to her about what Pilates are and everything that she's up to and the benefits of them. So Lesley, thank you so much for joining me today.
Curtis, thank you for having me. I love your voice and I love how you say Pilates, and I'm excited to talk about why it's good for people and how they can do more of it.
Oh, well, I appreciate it. And I've had somebody on before talking about Pilates, and I always call them pilots, and they have to correct me.
I think it's great. I have a girlfriend who calls it Pilates, and I also love that. It's a weird name for a workout, so we may as well have fun with it.
Absolutely. So before we get into it, let's start off by having you tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
Okay, well, I'm Lesley Logan, and I've been teaching Pilates for over 16 years, doing it almost 20. And if you are like, I don't really know if I want to hear about Pilates, I want you to know, like, I actually didn't think it would be like a worthwhile endeavor. When I went to my first class, I actually thought it was like an infomercial workout. But I was kind of lost and alone. I had a good job-ish, I had a good life-ish, and I just kind of felt like I was missing something. And so I went to my first Pilates class and I couldn't articulate it then, but looking back, can see that it was the first time that I got to be inside my body, to be grounded and be present. And so I changed everyone's work schedule so I could go to Pilates every single day. And that led me to end up teaching it. And so I went on this. I really had no idea that I would go from like loving something as a form of working out to being my full-time career and something I get to travel the world to help people have access to Pilates practices everywhere.
So explain to the listeners what Pilates are.
Yeah. So it's a strength-based workout. And I think it's really important to note that it was designed by a man for men. And a lot of people think it's for young girls, like young women. It's some sort of stretchy thing. And really, it is a full body workout designed to balance your imbalances, strengthen the muscles that are loose or weak. And also, if you are a tighter person, open up what's tight. So it's really going to meet you where you are. Exercises that are hard for me might be easy for you. And it can be done on a mat. That's what Joseph Pilates created first, but was very difficult and people needed more support. So he created a ton of different pieces of equipment. He was quite an inventor. So there's a reformer and a Cadillac and a window chair and all these things that if you've never heard of them are going to be confusing and like what do those words mean? But it's just like if you go to a gym, there's like a leg machine, an arm machine, and there's ab machines, very similar. But the equipment that he created was designed to help your entire body. So you're never just spot training. You're not working just one part of the body. You're working the whole body in every movement.
So who can benefit from Pilates?
Yeah, so I think first of all, the answer is going to sound like like everyone, but really everyone. It's if you are older, like you need low impact fitness because maybe your bones don't have the strength to handle high impact fitness. And so Pilates is going to be a really great tool for you. Now, you might need to do some private one-on-one sessions with someone before you do it on your own, or you might need some props or pillows to support you. You might have more questions to make it more accessible for you, but that's okay, right? We all have to start somewhere. If you are younger, it's a really excellent way to balance imbalances before you create injuries and habits. And also, whether you're a male or female, it doesn't really matter. It's something that is designed to go with the other workouts that you're doing. So it's not Pilates only, it's always Pilates and. So if you love to lift weights or you love to do some sort of like hobby that requires your body to be like in a physical condition, Pilates is something that can be a warm up or a cool down. You can use it for however you want to do it. And the reality is a lot of people, health condition wise, they need a workout modality that actually allows them to do it from laying in bed or on the floor. And that is something you can do here to strengthen your entire body. But also, full hour long workouts are not always accessible to people. And with Pilates, you can do 15 minutes or 20 minutes and really build up your stamina and your endurance.
So I know you mentioned, doing a one-on-one with somebody. So for those people out there looking for a Pilates instructor, what's some best practice tips on finding a Pilates instructor that's best for them?
Curtis, I love this question so much. Thank you so much for asking. So, Pilates is not a regulated industry, and that's actually unfortunate for a lot of reasons. There's actually a lot of fitness modalities that are not regulated. Like what I mean by that is when you go to get your nails done or you go to get your hair done, they have a license where they have to follow some sort of state guidelines to get there, right? They have to maintain that license. So there is some sort of checks and balances. In Pilates, it doesn't exist. And so that means that some people get trained in a weekend and some people get trained over 2 years. And so, what you want to make sure of when you're looking for a Pilates instructor for you is you want to make sure that they actually have experience with you, like a body like yours. So, if you have an ache, pain, or ailment, they need to know about it. If you have a goal that you want to have, they need to know about it. If you have certain chronic conditions, it's good for them to know. And if they don't seem to understand it, you might want to like find someone else. But the other things you can look for just on, so you're not wasting your time talking to them first, when you look on their websites, is look under who trained them and how long the training was. You want to see words like comprehensive training or 450 hours or 600 hours or something like that. Like if you can find someone with 900 hours, even better. If you find someone who's done, they say they did multiple trainings, that's probably pretty good. Um, it should have taken them 6 months to a year to do their first training. That's what you want to look for. And then what I would also say is if you don't like it, try a different teacher because just like a trainer out there, there are different trainers have different training styles. The same goes for Pilates. There's different personality types, there's different life experiences. And so I might not be the right teacher for a lot of people, but I'm the best teacher for the people I'm best for. Just like my friend who's totally different than me, but one of my dearest friends, the people that I'm not the best teacher for, she is. And so really it's okay to like do an intercession here and then do one over here until you really find a teacher who you feel sees you, understands you, you feel safe with them, and then you can commit to them. And here's the cool thing. You don't have to do one-on-one forever. You can do one-on-one and tell them, I want to be able to be independent in a class. I want to know how to modify exercises for myself so you can have more access to Pilates.
So for those who don't know, explain to the listeners the benefits of Pilates.
Yeah. So one of the best benefits is your posture. And I know that's not a sexy benefit. So many people are like, I want a weight loss. But did you know if you have really good posture, you look like you lost weight? And the thing about posture that people don't pay attention to is a lot of your aches and pains have a lot to do with your posture, but also so does your mood. Poor posture is actually a contributor to not just back pain, but digestive issues. And digestive issues cause hormone issues. And those issues combined can affect your mental health and your outlook on life and like how you experience things. And so you absolutely do want that benefit of good posture without having to think about it. The other benefits are that I've said it before, balancing your imbalances. What does that mean? It means if you are a tighter body, it's going to make you more flexible. And if you are a more flexible body, it's going to make you stronger. And when you have your imbalance is balanced, you're less likely to have injury. Most injuries happen because of an imbalance, either a weakness or tightness or something like that. So that is another benefit that I absolutely love. Can you lose weight with Pilates? Ish. The thing that we have to understand about weight loss, and it has to be more normalized, is weight loss has a lot to do with genetics, hormones, and then the nutrition that you're eating, and if it's right for you. And so no fitness can actually help you lose weight. There's tons of studies that prove that. So can Pilates be an assistant in that journey? Yes, but you also have to already have been working with someone to make sure your hormones are okay, that you're feeling yourself for yourself properly and that thing. But you do increase your metabolism if you have a Pilates practice because you do build muscle strength, and muscle strength is what is connected to your metabolism. Another amazing benefit of Pilates, I think, is that it has this ability to create long, like stamina and endurance. So if you're someone who is feeling a little bit more lethargic or you feel like you don't have a lot of stamina, Pilates actually, because every exercise eventually flows into the next and there's no breaks, except different than like weight training where you lift some weights and you wait and you lift some weights and you wait. Pilates, there's no break. So you actually do build endurance. It's really great for endurance athletes or people who want to build their stamina. And then the other thing I love to say that Pilates helps you do is fall better. We're all humans. We're going to trip. We're going to fall. And the thing is that most falls actually can be the start to the decline of a body. And that's a really sad thing. And so, one, we can reduce the amount of times you fall by just strengthening your outer hips and the muscles around your center. And then also, the exercise that Pilates does really helps teach you how to pick up your feet, how to, if you miss a step, you won't have to think about it. Your body knows how to kind of like regain its balance. And then lastly, if you do hit the ground, you often roll because of the exercises that teach you how to roll. And so we're literally teaching your body how to do things in life that you already do or will do. And then you don't have to think about it. It's part of your subconscious. So those are my favorite benefits of Pilates.
Okay, and let's talk about self-care. A lot of people think that self-care is selfish, but explain to the listeners how it's not selfish and how people can benefit from taking time to do self-care.
Yeah, Curtis, thank you for asking this question. I think what is sad to me is the amount of people that are doing so many things for so many other people and they're not doing it for themselves. And then what happens is they get sick or they get injured or something happens to them. And then the people that they love and care about don't get the full version of them. In fact, they don't get the help. So you have to actually understand that by you caring for yourself, it's actually the least selfish thing you can do. In fact, you not caring for yourself is pretty selfish because it's actually going to take you away from caring for the people or doing the work that supports the people that you care about. And so we need to normalize that having boundaries around when you sleep, how you eat, when you move your body are actually essential and should be honored. And that when you take care of yourself, when you put that air mask on first, you're actually more able to help more people. You're more generous. You have more love to give. And so I'm on this mission, especially for the women listening, but also all the great men out there. It's important that we recognize that going for a walk in the morning, meditating, doing Pilates, fueling yourself is essential part of actually loving the people in your life. Because if we lose you, if you become sick or you have ailments or worse, right? We just absolutely end up losing you to some sort of health condition. The world misses out on the gifts and the experiences we're going to have with you. And so to me, self-care is the most selfless, loving thing you can do for those in your life.
Well, not only do you talk about self-care, but you're a big community-oriented person. So explain that to listeners why you feel that's important.
So I actually think everybody wants to be part of a community. And I think it's because of all of the technology out there, the abilities that we think are cool to work from home, more and more people feel alone. In fact, so many people don't even think that they have friends, right? Because there's not a lot of opportunities to connect with people. And when you're out in public, most people are on their phones. And so I like to, even though the way that I offer Pilates is typically online and you would do it at home, I wanted there to be a community aspect. And I didn't want that community to just be a place where you could like talk about like some random class you took, but instead everyone's taking the same class whenever they want. So they can actually talk about the class without having to know the number or the name. They can just say, this class this week, this is what I struggle with, this is what I did well. And other people can join in on that conversation and, build relationships, build friendships. One of our members recently, she was hit by both hurricanes in Florida. And so she's actually quite homeless as her home is being rebuilt. And she's living with a friend, and another member reached out to be like, how is it going? What are you going through? Do you need anything? And that member lives in Arizona. So lives so far away. So you can be in community without it being around you. But I think community needs to be there so we don't feel so alone or so unseen when there's hard stuff going on in our life that has nothing to do with our workouts. And so for me, whether it's an online community or an in-person community, creating that space that's safe for people to connect around something that they love allows them to meet people they might not never have met, but they have a shared experience that they love, and it develops deep relationships and friendships that might not have happened but need to be there because we all deserve to be part of something.
Tell us about any upcoming projects that you're working on that listeners need to be aware of.
Curtis, I'm coming to a city near someone. I'm going on tour December 6th through January 8th. I'm hitting 22 cities. opc.me/tour will show you all the different cities. So if you are interested in Pilates, the classes are all levels. So you can be Pilates curious and come. I'm super excited about that because it does allow our community members to connect with each other and other people and that are in a city near them that they might not have known that they have the same like love and experience for Pilates. And then also I'm working on a product. If you don't want to come in person or can't, I'm working on another product that has the Pilates exercises that people can do at home. It's called an accessories deck, and it's helping take a lot of the exercises that Joseph Pilates gave us that people don't usually use because they're not sexy, they're not in classes, but you can use a towel or a pencil or a marble. You can use bottles of water. For some of the exercises, you can use a wall, you can use a couch cushion, and there are all these different exercises that help people, reconnect to their bodies, but also strengthen some of their imbalances. A lot of people have foot issues or wrist issues. And so I have exercises in there that either you can use household products or you can go to your local hardware store and make them yourself. I'm hoping they make that 70% of the deck as things you can make or have at home so that people can have access to Pilates where they are. And there'll be different flashcards so they can create the workout for themselves that they want. And they'll have these visual images of the exercises plus a video that they can go to. And so that'll come out in 2025.
All right. And so people can keep up with everything that you're up to. Throw out your website,
Yeah.
your contact info.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, what is it? It's you're just going to go to, if you're interested in Pilates, you can go to onlinepilatesclasses.com and you'll see what we have. If you want to try something for free, fullbodyand15.com is my favorite to give out to people who have never done Pilates. We actually have 3 mini workshops that teach you how to do the exercises. We answer people's questions. We give ideas for modifications. And then there's a 15-minute workout that you can do, and you can do it as many times as you want. And if you just want to talk to me, I love to hang out on Instagram, Lesley.Logan. It's Lesley.Logan. You can DM me if you have questions. You can comment on anything. I answer them all myself. And I would love to help support you on your Pilates journey.
Absolutely. Close us out with some final thoughts. Maybe if there was something I forgot to talk about that you would like to touch on, or any final thoughts you have for the listeners.
Oh my goodness. To all of you listening, I think it's so important that you understand that you are in practice. It's a process. Perfection is so boring. And so even if you're just trying to get started with fitness or moving your body regularly, like be okay with being in process and being kind to yourself and celebrating what you did do. And, if you love doing Pilates in person, there are great places to go. But if it's not serving you or it's not the right place, keep looking because Pilates is something that will meet you where you are. We just have to find the right teacher for you. Or hopefully you give me a shot and I can support you on your journey and remind you that you are amazing, that life's, but you taking care of yourself is so important. So yeah, I hope that helps with anything that you're doing. It's a practice, it's a process, it's not perfect.
Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen, online pilatesclasses.com. Please be sure to check out everything that Lesley's up to. And if she comes to a city near you, then go check out her tour out and hit her up on Instagram. Follow, rate, review, share this episode to as many people as possible. Remember your self-care. Make sure you're taking care of yourself, listeners out there. Jump on your favorite podcast app. Give us a review, follow us, check out the show, share it. If you have any guest or suggestion topics, Curtis Jackson 1978 at att.net is the place to send them. Thank you for listening and supporting the show. Lesley, thank you for all that you do, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Curtis, for having me. This is wonderful. Have an amazing day.
For more information on the Living the Dream podcast, visit www.djcurveball.com. Until next time, stay focused on living the dream.